Daryl, we will go with you first. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Davion. Good morning. I had a question. You've been through this, several seasons before. I'm really curious about how the isolation of players. I mean, I know you guys don't get to hang out in the rooms together very much at all, and how that's making this process more challenging with so many young guys being isolated. You can't bond the way normal teams do in a normal year.
Yeah. I mean, the benefit that we have is that we live together in the lodge, and being that Kentucky has took the safety measures to make sure we're all healthy and that we test regularly. We're able to kind of hang out in each other's rooms. Whereas my old place, we or most college campuses that I know of, like main guys that you aren't living together. So that's been good for us, and we're just trying to do as much as we can, like in that aspect right now.
All right, John Hale, we'll go to you. Just remind our guys, players, that we'll keep your line unmuted if you have a follow-up. Go ahead, John.
Davion, as a guy, really the only guy on this team who came from a really successful program, I'm curious, what has this frustration level been like for you? How are you just personally handling the struggles right now?
I mean, I'm fine. I mean, I still understand that it's really early. That things weren't, every season that I played in, things didn't always start off, beautiful. I mean, it's always going to be some form of struggle, but that's the best part about it. How do you fight back? How do you answer to adversity? So, I mean, it's very frustrating. I mean, I'm a huge competitor. I mean, I know the guys around me are huge competitors. I mean, I see a lot of the guys' faces after a loss, and I mean, it hurts. It sucks, but it's still very early. We're still figuring it out.
And I know you have a connection with Jalen Withers from your high school in Carolina. Just what's that relationship like? What's kind of your experience with him?
Yeah, I think he was a freshman when I was a senior in high school, and he was a very quiet kid back then. I mean, we didn't really speak as much, but he's super cool guy. Like, so happy that we can compete still at this level. Years later.
Jerry, we go to you. Larry after him.
Yeah, Davion, earlier Coach Cal said that he had picked three guys to sort of deal with issues with the team and other players. And they were older players, he said. I'm wondering if you were one of those players, and if so, how you see that role.
Yeah, I mean, Coach pulled a couple guys in the office, and he talked about, taking the stress off of him of, having to deal with the non-negotiables. That should be the responsibility of the guys he selected, and everyone is on board with it. Everyone is agreeing with it and jumping on board. So that's what it is.
And I'm wondering, you guys, with the issues you're trying to get going, does that take away from a rivalry kind of game? You know what I mean? Are you more focused on the issues internally than to get caught up in a rivalry?
Oh no, I don't really want to like drag it out. We're still super focused on what we have right now, and we're still just rolling. We understand the magnitude of this game, and we know we're representing, and this is our chance. This is our time. I mean, we're like Coach mentioned, we're gonna get the best from everybody, and especially a team like who really wants to play us. So we're super locked in and focused on Saturday.
Larry Vaught, you're up next. John Long after him.
Davion, a couple things. Just kind of wondering with the post game after the North Carolina loss and what's gone on the last couple of days, it seemed like that could be either just really tear a team apart or could really help a team kind of come back together. How are you kind of sensing it's going to play out with you guys?
I'm sorry, can you restate the question?
With some of the things that apparently went on in the locker room after the game Saturday that happened to send a player home on Sunday, things like that can sometimes kind of tear a team completely apart, or it could bond them together and bring them back together and playing even better. How are you sensing things are going to go with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we have a great coaching staff and a great supporting system to help monitor things like that, I don't think it's going to tear us apart at all. I mean, I still think we're a huge family, a huge group. And I mean, Coach has brought a guy in who's, spoke with us and helped, kind of just relax everybody, see where our heads are at, and kind of come together after individual meetings with them and, figure things out. Like, we're taking the correct steps. I mean, and like you said, after a loss like that, I mean, who wouldn't be upset? I mean, there's super high emotions. I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, this is our lives. And, when things are going rough, I mean, you're always going to be upset. I'm sure, all of you guys is asking me questions are upset when things aren't going your way. So, I just love this team. I love where I see things going. I love the attitudes right now. And it's just special, to still see that even when, things aren't the best right now, we're still working together trying.
And the non-negotiables that Coach talked about, exactly what are those?
Yeah, I mean, just controlling your attitude, controlling, can I make this play for someone else? Like he said something like not thinking less of yourself, but in terms of like who you are as a person, but at the same time thinking less of yourself when in terms when it's time to help someone else. So I mean, a lot of those things are non-negotiables when he's talking and when he's trying to teach us. He's been here before. I mean, 30 years, and his resume speaks for itself. I mean, it's time to listen. So those things right there are non-negotiable.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Davion, first of all, Merry Christmas. And then secondly, before you got here, you realized how crazy the fans were. And now with you guys being 1-5, can you kind of understand why everybody thinks the sky is falling?
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, for them, they're used to winning, and we are too. But I mean, I'm here to say the sky is not falling. It's still blue, and it's all right. Like I said, we're gonna figure this thing out, and we signed up for this. We understand what we're doing. I mean, we're playing in the public's eye. I mean, so there's always gonna be opinions when what you do is public, and I mean, hopefully we still have the support with you guys, but if we don't, we have each other. So.
You mentioned earlier that you feel like that there's still time, and yet there's got to be a point in which a sense of desperation kind of sneaks in. Are you guys anywhere near that point?
No, I mean that right now there are top 25 teams who have lost 2 games. I mean, if you ask me, there's not that big of a difference at this point of the season between 2 and 5. As in our 5 is in our loss number, as we all know. But I mean, we have time to pick it up, and we have the correct staff and everyone around us to do that.
Guys, I'm going to cut Davion loose here so I can get you to Lance because we're bumping up against practice.